back. You should see me. Count me in. Okay, there we go. There we go. Good now. Good, 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 good. Okay, I am back. I'm live. Hopefully y'all guys are still there. Give me a thumbs up, everybody. For everybody here, give me a nice little emote. Let me know everybody's still here and watching. Let's see. Okay, he's offline. Grab everything from his fridge. Right? Right? So anyway, let me go back. This should have fixed my USB microphone issue. Hopefully. If not, I'm going to be pissed. Let me see if I add a new one, if that'll. I don't know why it's not letting me pick that USB microphone. Okay, well, anyway, guys, I don't understand why it's not letting me use that microphone. But it is what it is. So for the most part... Okay, so for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, with the other microphone, which is the audio input capture, this one here, this one here, I do sound like I'm in the can, but for some reason I can't activate the handheld microphone. But for what it is, the webcam one still sounds good. This one still sounds good. So you're getting the filters right. It's just getting a decent microphone to work, where the webcam one doesn't. But even with the canned sound, I still sound good. It says, no witnesses, knockout Streamlabs bot, right? So anyway, we got that pretty much done there, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. We're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the next thing. Looks like I lost some people. What? Okay, there we go. Anyway, guys, from here, since we got the audio set, and I'm gonna make those settings available in my YouTube channel to where you can actually get those plugins. So let me go ahead and give you those give you the settings for the webcam and stuff. We're going to go ahead and switch modes to the webcam. What we're going to do, as you can see with this webcam here, I've got a second webcam, as you know. We're going to go ahead and add those in. Let's go ahead and get rid of the recorded voice stuff there. Okay, we're going to get rid of the, go there. Now, right here, ladies and gentlemen, we have two cameras. This is one, and then this is the second one. You slide that over. So we have two cameras. The camera that I'm using, we're going to talk about a few different things. Right now, as you'll see, is there we go. You're seeing two different cameras. There's one camera, and then that one with the light right there is a camera. So anyway, two different cameras. We're going to make that camera right there look like this camera right here. Now, real quick for the cameras, I'm going to show you a few things about cameras. So let's go ahead and switch back to the just chatting screen real quick. Now, with the cameras, you can get the camera that the cheapo camera that I have right here. And then the camera that I am using is a mid-grade camera, which is the Razer Kiyo that you can get right here. There we go. Now, going back to the movie screen, we're going to do some adjustments. The first thing that you want to do to get this right here with this camera here, one of the key things about any camera is lighting, okay? One of the things you want to do is for around $6. Oh. Get these little lights right here, guys, okay? Now, this is what I use to usually light up my green screen. But these here with an LED light bulb in there, as you see, very cost effective. This light here run me literally $6 from a hardware store. The benefit of this is to light your stuff up. You want to have a light off to certain areas of the thing to give yourself a full even thing. As you can see, I'm starting to get dark here. That's because the sun is going down. With that said, we are going to use my second light to light me up. There we go. See a big difference here. Boom. Now, put this back on the tripod. Since it is getting dark. As you can see the light back there. So depending on the certain settings and stuff that you want to use, right now I'm using daytime settings. And it's getting darker, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Stay still. Okay, now moving forward, we're gonna start adding the filters to this camera to make it look just like this one here. If I were to turn that light off and turn all my lights off, you'll see the difference that this camera here, my good camera, is going to make. Now, without the lighting, okay, just by turning off all the lights, this is pretty much what you're going to get. This is what it looks like with, I swear to God. So this is what it's going to look like, what the camera looks like with without any lights. Lighting makes any camera better, okay? You got to have that better lighting, guys. You have to have that better lighting. The better lighting does so much for everything. Just so with the lighting, you can do so much. Give me a second here to adjust that. There we go. So you're seeing what I'm doing here. Now, when I turn the lights on, as you can see with my green screen right there, I have the shadow. Okay. The lights that you set up, get rid of those. So we're going to turn my key light on. Okay. That's the light that lights my face up. Okay. Then we're going to turn what's called a fill light on, which is usually off at, if you look at a clock, you want to put it at depending on what side you want it in, you want it to be like 12 o'clock is my key light. So if that's 12 o'clock, I've got my fill light at 10 o'clock going to the background, lighting up this as well as lighting myself up here. With that done, you also sometimes want to have your backdrop light going off to you and kind of casting off on me this way. So I'll actually set that up as well and let you see the difference. This is what that other clamp light would look like once I get it all pulled up. I specifically took these down for a reason. Now, so this is pretty much what you're going to get with that lighting. Now, the microphone, of course, is in my way. So now, I've got even light on both sides of my face. Now, the other camera stopped. Why did the other camera stop working? What the heck? What's going on? There we go. Okay, now, from here, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do the filters to get to match this look. So we're going to go into the filters. The first thing that we want to add in, as you can see, I've got the room here. We're going to add in a chroma key. You want to go to the chroma key, not the color key. See this color key? We don't want this. We want chroma key right there. Now doing chroma key, as you see the static back there, we are going to decrease the smoothness. We're going to decrease the color spill, and we're going to increase this until it turns the right blackness. We don't want it to be completely black. See how it still has a little bit of filters here? We want to fix a lot of this. So you increase the spill just a little bit. Now, see, I have a cheap camera. Sometimes they freeze like that. Yeah, they do. They do. You have to deactivate it and reactivate it. So now, as we're seeing, I'm a little washed out in this camera here. So with that and the filters, we need to go in and bring the filters back up. We're going to go in and add a color correction. And from the color correction, we are going to adjust the brightness and the contrast. We're going to desaturate it a little bit. Make it look as dark as possible using the gamma. You want to decrease your gamma if you're looking washed out. Bring down the darkness there. Now, as you can see, let me increase the size of that because I'm small on one side and large on the other. Need to be about the same height. So now, the colors of it seem to be a little washed out still compared to this camera here, camera 1, camera 2. But camera 1 is my Kiyo. You can see that I'm a little washed out on this camera here versus this camera here. So we're going to do camera left, camera right. Now, going back into the filters, one of the key things you also want to do is add in a sharpness to it. We're going to go in, we're going to find sharpen, add that in, and by default, it's already set at 8, which 6 to 8 is where you want to be at, depending on how sharp or how little you want things to be. So now we're already at the sharpness. Now, as you see, I have a blue tone. I want to get rid of that blue tone. So I'm going to go back to the filters, and there's two things that we can do. Now, I don't know about Stream Elements and OBS if they've added this or not. I know Streamlabs added this visual presets. You can go here, and we're going to maximize this, and we can add certain settings. Like if I add this hearth, it adds a yellow tone to me, but it's still washed out. So we're going to get rid of that for the time being. We could do it that way, but what we're going to do is we're going to go here to add and go down to Lutes, L-U-T, apply Lute right there. Let's see, what are you saying? Don't think OBS has those presets, just standard filters. Right. They may. I haven't used OBS in a while. Now, with Streamlabs OBS and Stream Elements, they do offer the apply Lute. As you see, I'm going to move this up past sharpen. I want to apply the Lute after the color correction, but before the sharpen, because I want the sharpening to affect the Lute as well. Now with the Lutes, I'm going to hit done real quick. With the Lutes, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to this link I'm about to give you, you can get 30 pre-made Lutes from Gaming Careers. The gentleman made them available. He even teaches you on his video how to install them, like I'm about to do. But these Lutes do a lot of different cool things. Okay. But they're going to change the colors and stuff like that. We're going to have to do some altering after it. But those right there, that link right there will get you 30 preset Lutes. You can go and buy some if you want, like I did. Or you can, if you know how to do it, you can actually make your own, because I can make my own if I wanted. But for what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get a certain look. Give me a second to get some drinks. Now, I'm trying to do something here. That's the reason why I did the color correction ahead of time. As you see, I have that blue tone compared to the yellow tone. If we come in here and actually go to the filters again, we're going to go to the Apply Lutes, go to Browse, and oh, no, wrong one. Right here, these are the 30 Lutes. Okay. Now I'm looking for a certain Lute to put Roland. Now, as you see, that's done a dramatic thing right there. We're going to go to Lester. There we go. Now, just adding that alone has done a little bit. Now, I still don't like the blue washed out tone of the camera with his Lutes. Every camera is different. we are working with a super cheap camera. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go here into the filters, and I'm going to add the filter that I'm, or the loot that I'm using for the Kiyo, I'm going to use on the other camera. So we're going to go to apply loot. We're going to go to browse, and we're going to go to my hard drive here, guys. You're going to get, come on, give it a second. Warming up that hard drive. Okay. Now, from here, we're going to go to my new law folder. We're going to go to video assets. We're going to go to my loots folder. And we're going to go to cube, because you have to either use PNG or cube. So we're going to use a cube. We're going to go to the standard, and I'm using the Captain Marvel one, so I'm going to use the Captain Marvel here as well. So now I've used the same filter. Right now you're like, wait, it still doesn't look right. So from here we're going to do the adjustments of the color correction. We're going to actually turn that off. That's too bright. That's one of the reasons why it's doing the washout. Okay, now when I add in that hearth I was telling you about, it adds the yellow in. Now from here, guys, as you see, it'll wash out. Okay, so as you see with me putting that there, you see the fuzziness across my shoulder. We need to do some adjustments again. So we're going to go to my chroma key, and we're going to adjust the chroma key. I'm going to move this over so that you won't be able to see this window, guys, but I want you to see what's happening at my shoulder there, and we're going to adjust it just a little bit to bring my shoulder in. Now remember, this is a little bit of a cheap camera, so we got to do some minor adjustments here. Okay, there we go. Now, we got to make this a little bit darker. More desaturating to it. Now, for the most part, as you see with my settings here, guys, right here, I have the chroma key, the color correction, the apply the loot, and the sharp. Now, for what you're getting here, as you see, it's pretty much the exact same thing. So I'm going to right here, copy and paste, or do a copy of it. We're going to go up to the just chatting screen, and we're going to actually paste this in. It's looking great for low-end camera, right? So we're going to take my Kiyo, and we're going to move me just a little bit. Now, granted that the cameras are different areas. There's a slight little bit of difference because it does have like a gloss to it, a glow to it. That's default in the camera. I can't change that. But that alone, as you can see, is a big difference. I've got both cameras looking almost uh similar. Now, if I were to take this, I can go a little bit more. I'm going to actually put the Kiyo back to the center, and we're going to lock it down. We're going to hide it, and we're going to focus on this cheap camera. So there's that there. We're going to bring the filters back up. Let me switch back to this and turn the Kiyo off so we don't have nothing to reference. We're going to pull that over here now, like it was the main camera. Now we're going to do some more alterations to it. Like with all this here, we can actually adjust, add a green tone to it, which I don't want to do. We're actually going to take that yellow tone off. Now that we know that I can somewhat match the other camera, we are going to make this camera look completely different, its own settings, and instead of duplicating, we're going to make it look pretty much better. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the color correction, and we're going to increase the saturation a bit. Bring that darkness down. We're going to go to the LUTs, and we're going to try a different LUT and make it look different. We're going to start with this one here. Now you see that this LUT, whatever you want to say, looks completely different. Okay, it has like a really blue tone, a blue and red. Okay, so it increases the blues and reds. So we don't like that. We're going to actually go, and instead of doing standard, we're going to go to generic. And we're going to use the generic ones. And as you see, oh my God, it's blown out. Okay, so yeah, we can do different things here. So that's the reason why I use the standard over the generic. 21 bridge, too much of a blue tone. Don't like that one either. Let's see, we're gonna try something different. Try Ford Ferrari. Nope, too washed out. No, too green. See, playing with the loots, you have to actually sometimes sift through them because every loot is gonna look, or loot, whatever you, is gonna look different. Gemini Man is green. Godzilla's green. Honey Boy. There we go. There we go. There we go. So we're going to go back to color correction. We're going to desaturate this a little bit. Then we're going to increase the contrast right. Okay, so once we're done, now, here's what we've got now. So this in itself is a big difference here for the camera. Once we go back, it automatically applies the filters because they're saved to both as copies of each other. So ladies and gentlemen, now we have this with here. Yeah, okay. So with here, we can like right now it's a little muddy. I don't like how dark it is, so we are going to do a minor adjustment to it. What's up, Unshaped Line? What is up? What is up? What is up? So we're gonna go to the color correction. Let me switch the camera so you can actually see this. So it's a little dark right now, so I am going to do some adjustments so you can actually see it real quick. But we want to lighten it up so it doesn't look as muddy. Still not enough. For some reason, it's still a little on the dark. On the dark side. Filters, color correction. What can I do to bring it up? That should. I just don't like the contrast. It says, man, all right, trying to get back to some kind of mental state after last week. No, I got you. I got you. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people are like that. So now I've got it to look somewhat good. You got to remember, this is a cheap $5 camera, ladies and gentlemen. So you're not going to make it look identical to the Kiyo. But for the most part, been here just lurking. Hey, all good, all good, all good. So now, for the most part, for a $5 camera, guys, this ain't bad. Let me turn that off. So it's got work for today. Got you. So anyway, guys, as you see, the camera doesn't look too bad. It's a little washed out from that. Not around. There, that's a little bit better. Now, as you see, two different cameras. We got the $5 camera and we got the Kiyo. This one here that I'm covering up, this one is black. That's the $5 camera. This one here that I'm covering up is the expensive camera. So that the left camera is the one over there that has the red tone is the cheap camera. So you can see a major difference in the cameras by themselves. We're gonna go back to just chatting, so you won't see Streamception, and we're gonna readjust it. So now, here we go. We got ourselves a decent camera. You can do some alterations to things. It's a little bright on this side because of that light, but for the most part, huge difference in cameras. Exactly, a huge difference. But as you can see, this $5 camera is not a bad camera. Okay, you can get away with doing a decent stream on this camera, especially if you're doing a game setup, ladies and gentlemen. If you're doing a game setup, one of the things I would recommend is, wow, $5, yes, Vance, $5. Let me post that link in there for the camera. Here is the camera that we're using. This is the exact link to the exact camera that we're using. They may have changed the price, but I got it for $5. It may have been a sale. I think it's $10 now, but still $10, $5. It's still a cheap camera. It still looks really, really good for what it is. So there's that. If you want to get the Razer Kiyo, ladies and gentlemen, let me drop the link to the Razer Kiyo. There's the Razer Kiyo right there. Okay. Now, in a setting for a video game setting, what I tend to do is this right here. I'll usually pull myself off to one of the sides and decrease myself down. Okay. This is in my drawer. I want to use your technique tweak and tweak that one out. Hey, all good. Do what you got to do. So in a game setting, guys, this is what you're pretty much going to see. Okay. Now, like I said, I have the bright lights over there. I'm going to turn the bright light off just so I can get that washed out tone on me. But watch this. Now, with that turned out, okay, guys, this is what we get here. The only thing I'm running on right now is nothing but my Kiyo light here. What we're going to do, it says, imagine covering the whole screen, right? So we're going to go back to the movie thing. Now, as you can see with my Razer Kiyo, guys, no lights whatsoever. My Razer Kiyo now sucks, okay? And that camera to the left looks a lot better than the Razer Kiyo. So we're going to do some minor adjustments to the cheapo camera. Just to make it look a little bit better. Now that I adjusted the light, desaturated a little bit. So that for those tuning in late, ladies and gentlemen, what we've done is we've added the chroma key filter, we've added the color correction filter, we've added a sharpening, and we added a LUT. The LUTs, however you want to say it, everyone says it differently, that we're using right now is the Honey Boy. It's the Tryon Films. Ryan Connolly of Tryon Films owns. He actually made a list of these that are simulated from Hollywood, official Hollywood LUTs. These are through him. You can get them there kind of on the expensive side. They're around like $20 to $40 for these LUTs. But as you see, I just slightly adjusted it a little bit more. We are using the Honey Boy. So let me go back just to show you the difference of what it does. This is the Captain Marvel one is the one that I normally use. As you see the difference that it just did just now by changing that. So we're going to go back to the Honey Boy. And for the camera we're using, the Honey Boy one looks really, really good. You're going to I'll see. Oh my God, I leave for one moment and come back, and there are 3 of you now. The world can't handle this much awesomeness, right? He is simply replicating. Exactly. So as you can see, the difference between the 2 cameras, ladies. This is this camera right. Oh, hang on. The camera that this one here, the one to the right, the blue tinted one, the one that has a blue tint that looks crappy is the Razer Kiyo because I turned my lights off. Now, the one that looks good, let me switch back to my movie screen. The camera you're looking at now, this is the $5 camera you're looking at, okay? With low light. We're using natural light. We're using a Kiyo ring light and a sunlight. Literally, that's all I'm using for this camera. Now, right now I have it sized to be a game screen in case. Just imagine that church is a video game. Say you got a character walking inside the church or whatever that you're looking at. So that's pretty much what you're looking at. If I were to increase the size of the camera and bring it over here. Now, what you're seeing now is the cheap camera enlarged up. This is not bad for a cheap camera. Okay, for it to be a $5 to $10 camera, this is not bad. For a starting streamer, here you go. You literally spent $10 for the camera, okay? And with filters, you've made it look really, really decent. Now, I could do some more in-depth playing around if I had the time to do it. But for the most part, this right here is a great look. I mean, it's a great look. You can't beat it. Now, it looks a little bit better if you're doing the game screen. It looks a lot better like this. We're going to go ahead and turn on the Razer Kiyo. There's the Razer Kiyo. And you can see a big difference from the Razer Kiyo. Now, the Razer Kiyo, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, once I turn my lights on, it's going to do a whole different ball game. Okay? There we go. So my Razer Kiyo completely looks mad different just from changing this alone, okay? Lighting makes a difference in any camera, okay? So here's the thing. If you get the cheap camera, get yourself a lighting. Do what's called 3-point lighting. What is 3-point lighting? 3-point lighting. So let me get you an image for 3-point lighting real quick, guys, and I'm going to post that to you. Give me just a second to find the right image that I want for you guys. That one's not large enough. I need to find one that's large. Okay, this is a good one. Here we go. Copy image address. Post that here in the chat for you guys. Right there. Make sure you take a look at that image. I'm actually going to bring it up for you guys to see. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, you should be seeing the image. What you're seeing here, you've got what's called a hair light, separating the light source from the background. You've got your camera, you got your key light, which is my Razer Kiyo. You've got your fill light, which is the light that I have off to my left. That is standard, a standard basic for lighting. This is how you should light your setup. You want to have one camera behind you, aiming onto you. One camera to the that's usually you want to have it directly on you, and then this one to the side. Why they have this one off to a 45-degree angle, it's hard to say, but hey, it is what it is. It will give you stuff. As you see, this one having a darker color, this one being lighted, and this one being a mid-tone. You want this to be this key light to be your strongest light source. The fill light should be a mid-tone, a fairly faint one, and then the backdrop light, the hair light should be somewhat in the mid-ground. So that shows you pretty much what you want from there. We're going to go back here. So yeah, that's 3-point lighting. Make sure you set your stuff to that degrees. That's how I've got stuff done. As you can see, my one side is a little bit lighter. Now, that background, there we go. So now that's pretty much done. So that's that right there is the hair light, ladies and gentlemen. That is the hair light. So yeah, we're gonna bring that this way some. Boom. So as you see, it's easy to do with those lightings. Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead in the stream here. Hopefully, I've taught you a lot. If you want to learn a little bit more in depth on stuff, get up with me. I can teach you a little bit better on those microphones and go from there. But yeah, again, to recap, for the filters, you want to use the noise suppression, the noise gate, the compressor, and the EQ. Okay, Streamlabs OBS has them built in. Okay, you can also, if you want to get the EQ, you can go to the Reaper plugs, the replugs, and get those. They are free. Use the EQ for that. All the other ones don't matter. Stick with the built-in ones and edit those. The way you want to do it, record yourself using Audacity. Take that file, record it from your microphone. Thank you so much. This is a good YouTube content. Thank you. I will be carrying it over. But again, you want to use the recorded audio to adjust your microphone and then carry it over, copy and paste it to the actual microphone input from there. Once you've got that set, boom, you're good to go with your microphone, camera, everything. The next stream we do on Sunday, I'll be on next Sunday stream. I will have this microphone somehow working, because right now it's not working, but I will have it working with the proper settings to it. So I will have it work. I will be able to show you the difference. I'm leaving both cameras set so that when other people, in case they're like, wait, why do you have two cameras? And I can explain the difference and show them the difference between the two cameras and do a recap from today. But anyway, let me see who is streaming, guys. Yes, Ivory's streaming. Oh, Hellfire's streaming. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and raid Hellfire. And as always, guys, be here tomorrow for Mystery Monday for Paranormal Discussions. And my light just dropped. Paranormal Discussions, UFOs, ghosts, everything. Be here. Then Tuesday's Critical Hit. Friday is Fallout Friday. Thank you for being here. It's a little glitchy today, guys. I'll get things fixed out for next Monday. We'll do a recap next Monday on the microphones again with the other microphone working. For some reason, the microphone's not working right now. We will have it working. We'll do a small little recap on the settings, and I'll have some images and stuff and stuff to post to you guys. That said, hashtag raid, hashtag RetroActive. I love you. Love each and one of you every single time. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and get this done.